Alright guys, welcome in on the Field of Fear. I'm going solo today. My partner in crime is out getting the inside NBA scoop for all of you out there for the next session. So we're all updated on what's going on with the Linsanity, the Heat, whoever you want to talk about. All the crazy things that are going on in the NBA. Kevin Durant is awesome. LeBron James is having another type of MVP season. And he's the guy I really want to talk about right now because he continues to get so much flack and it drives me crazy. Look, I'm not a LeBron James fan per se. I'm not from Cleveland. I'm from New York. He was one of those teams, the Knicks were one of those teams that LeBron James was deciding on whether he should go to or not. So we were in the mix. As we all know, the decision was to go to South Beach. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I understand people in Cleveland being upset and having a problem with him leaving his quote-unquote hometown, his home state, home city, and going to play somewhere else. But look, it wasn't working out in Cleveland. So what do you want, the guy to stay there when he's not getting help, he's not getting the right pieces, and just play for you guys because that's where he's from? Look, I mean, obviously he wants to win championships. That's his objective. So how can you get mad at a guy who wants to go somewhere and play with two All-Stars, two All-Pros, whatever, with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and try to win one? I mean, they were this close last year. You know, they missed by a couple of games. The Mavericks beat him out. This year they look like they're the favorite going in. So you can't blame him, man. I just don't like it when fans get too crazy and say, oh, you're not welcome back to Cleveland. Who are you? You're a resident just like he is. Look, at the end of the day, LeBron James, just like all the other players in the NBA, they're human beings. They're normal people. They have feelings like we all do. They're just in the spotlight. And we, find this platform to criticize them. Criticism is okay when you talk about a man's play on the court. I don't like the way he went about the decision. I've never seen anybody handpick whatever team he wanted to go to and go ahead on TV and say, yeah, this is where I'm going to go, and, the whole bringing your talents to South Beach. I get it. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth, no question about it. But the point is that he made a decision, he went to go play somewhere else, and to hate a man for that is despicable, it's disgusting. I mean, think about what you're saying. You hate him because he went to go play for another basketball team because he wants to win? That's what he does. He wants to win. And he hasn't. And he desires that. And he took a pay cut. I know you won't call it a pay cut, $17 million. I would love to have that. So would anybody. But his objective was to go somewhere where he thought he had the best chance to win. And for you guys to bug out on him and go nuts, leave it alone. I can give you an example. Look, I'm a Met fan, obviously. Jose Reyes was a homegrown guy. Not necessarily from New York, obviously, but he was a guy in our farm system. We brought him up, him and David Wright. Jose Reyes, Wright, going to be there together forever. World Series, we're going to get a few and everything. Well, look, he decided to go play for the Miami Marlins. Whether it's for money or whether he thought he had a better chance of winning down there. The point is he left, and I'm not going to hate him just because he left New York to go play somewhere else. I'm not going to hate the man. Am I going to root for him? Hell no. He's playing for, one of my nemesis. He's playing for the Marlins. I don't wish him any success on his team. I hope he does well in life for himself, but I want the Mets to win. And I don't resent Jose Reyes for going somewhere else. He wasn't my favorite player to begin with, but the point is for you Cleveland fans, and I'm talking to you specifically. You loved LeBron James when he was playing for you. He gave it his all. You want to talk about a couple of games here and there against Boston, a few years ago where it looked like he kind of gave up? Okay, that's fine, and that's very valid. I understand that. But for the most part, this guy gave you everything he possibly could, brought you to the finals. He tried, and he gave it his all, and it didn't work. And you loved him. So now because he decided to go play for another team, you hate him. Just think about that for a minute, okay? It's ridiculous. You don't want to root for him, that's fine. But you're burning his jerseys, treating him like he's some sort of deity from like another planet. He's just a human being. He's a basketball player. Leave it alone. Prince Fielder this year played in Milwaukee. He was their guy, but we all knew at the end he was going to go somewhere else. Now, I understand Milwaukee fans not wishing him success, but don't bash, and criticism is okay, but when you take it to these levels of, you're not welcome back to Cleveland, and we don't want you here, and we hate you, and it's despicable, guys. Leave it alone. It's gross, all right? So take it easy on the guy. I mean, he obviously wants to be well-liked. He made the comments, yeah, I would go back to Cleveland. Whether or not he means it, I'm not sure, but he wants to be liked by everybody, and he tries, and sometimes he tries too hard, and it gets him in a bad situation. But he's a genuine human being. He doesn't seem to have hate for anybody. He just wants to win, play basketball. Let him. Let the guy go play. It didn't work out in Cleveland. He was there for 7 years. Well, what do you want? You want him to just stay around and not have a winning team around him and lose? Is that what you want? Look, you got Kyrie Irving. Build around him. Move on. Let LeBron play in Miami. So far, they haven't won anything yet, so good for you guys and good for Dan Gilbert and everything, but just calm down on that level. I don't want to spend too much time on that and everything. You know, we have Linsanity going on, obviously. The Knicks had a little bit of a fallback last night. 9 turnovers for Lin. He did have 26 points. You know, he put up some decent numbers, but it was in a loss. And I want to say this. As a Knicks fan, as a diehard Knicks fan, I'm glad they lost that game. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we're against a really crappy team at home, so you get a wake-up call. But even moreover, when Melo comes back, all right, everybody is going to want to blame the Knicks loss on him if they happen to lose the first game that he comes back. If, in fact, Jeremy Lin and the Knicks and the new look Knicks have won every single game up until his return. So now you're not going to be able to really criticize Carmelo Anthony if they come back. If he comes back tomorrow against Dallas, which he may not play actually, but let's just say he did and they did lose, it's not as big of an issue now. It's not like, oh, it's Carmelo Anthony's fault. He can't play with the Knicks and the new system. Now, let's not forget, he's the guy who wanted Jeremy Lin out there. He went to D'Antoni and said, hey, this guy should play. Again, he wants a point guard. He played with Chauncey Billups. He wants to have a guy who can feed in the ball. He doesn't want to be a point forward. He's not a ball hog. He's not a selfish player. He came to New York to win, and that's what he's trying to do. You got Amari, you got Tyson Chandler, Landry Fields is playing nice, a bunch of good pieces in there. Hopefully Lin can really turn the turnovers down because, you know, it is a problem right now, and he didn't look great last night, but that's okay. I'm not going to get on the guy. I mean, he's coming here and he's fired up the city, and it's been excellent. He'll learn, keep the turnovers down, get the ball to your playmakers, and look, wins will come about. They've been playing better defense, although it really wasn't apparent last night, especially in the first quarter. But look, I'm kind of glad they lost so they can wake up and say, okay, you know, we're not the greatest team in the world. We just lost to one of the worst teams in the NBA at home. So let's wake up. We're getting Melo back. Let's put it together. And I'm glad that, you know, all the fallout won't be on Melo if, in fact, they do lose on his first return because it's not deserving. You know, I know that they haven't gelled well as a team since he got here, but that's because they're missing key pieces. Now they got Chandler. Now they got Lin. You know, let's see if Lin, again, keep the turnovers down, keep those assists going. If you can get me 16, 15 points a game, 8, 9 assists, that's beautiful. That's all we need out of you. So look, that's my NBA piece of the day. I want to cut it short because my partner isn't here. And I'd much rather have the golden one in the house so we can go on the court with Craig and on the field with Fearman at the same time. But we're going to cut the podcast short for today. We will be back tomorrow, though. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Mets. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I love you guys. Later.